12 is here. Um, so week 11, really exciting games happen. Week 12, we got some more games on the slate that are going to be, some really, really good games that are happening. I'm just going to jump in with this Thursday night game. We got the Buffalo Bills traveling to Houston to play the Texans. Buffalo coming off a big win. Josh Allen, big, 6 touchdowns, three in the air, three on the ground. CJ Stroud will not be playing in this game. And so, I really, with that being said, I really cannot, with good faith, pick the Houston Texans, even though I've always talked about D'Amico Ryans and talked about, his team. But without CJ Stroud, the stuff that's going on in Houston, I think they are on a 2 game winning streak, but that's going to come to an end. I think Josh Allen is going to continue playing like how they play, and they're going to win this game on Thursday.
Man, earlier in the year, I really had high regard for Buffalo. But Buffalo this year, this seemed to be one of them teams where they win in when they're supposed to win, and then they just lay an egg when they're not supposed to, and then they'll go and beat a really 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 good team, and then they'll lose to the Falcons, they'll lose to the Dolphins, and this after this big win against the Buccaneers. Josh Allen had a Superman game this season with the 6 total touchdowns. This just seems ripe for Buffalo on a short week to not to not bring it, and the Texans, gunning trying to find some way into the playoffs. Maybe I don't think it's gonna happen, but they're trying. I'm gonna go with the Houston Texans, even without C.J. Stroud. I think this is one of those upset specials. Mills will do what he needs to do. The defense will show up. Gonna probably be in the 20s, but yeah, I'm gonna go with the Houston Texans. I think the Texans are gonna upset the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, I love an upset, and I always go. Majorly, I go with an underdog, right? I try to pick one or two out when we're doing this, but I have a hard time casting my lot in there with the Texans without C.J. Stroud and Links. Last time we were talking, it was Joe Mixon. Joe Mixon was the running back that I couldn't remember
Joe
at the
Mixon.
time,
Yeah.
right? And he hasn't played a snap this season, and the running game for the Texans, which was a big proponent to their success in previous years, has just never they never got it right. They haven't gotten it right yet. Uh, the line is weak. Buffalo has already had a letdown. I hear where Doc is coming from. I don't want to put Buffalo in that helter skelter category just yet, that up and down category. I think they're a little bit more consistent than not. And with that, I believe they're going to handle business and take this one on Thursday.
Gotcha. Gotcha. All right. Um, this one is a big one. This one is going to really either kill the Chiefs and put them to bed forever, or they're gonna rise from the ashes. So the Indianapolis Colts are coming into town. They go into Arrowhead. They're gonna play. Patrick Mahomes didn't have a really particularly great game in the last game against the Broncos. Uncharacteristic mistakes that he was making. Is is this him turning the corner over the hill a little bit, or is this like because they've been on a 9 year run. They've been on a run. So what's going on there. So anyway, Indianapolis Colts coming into town, and they are playing Kansas City. Look, I feel like I'm going with the Kansas City Chiefs. I I cannot see. I don't think they are quite over the. He's quite turning that on the downward spiral yet. I think they still got a little something in them. And if I know the fight, champions don't go down easy. And so Indianapolis Colts are going to come in there swinging now. I mean, it's going to be tough, but crybaby Chris Jones on the defense, you
My
know,
God.
They may shut. They're not going to shut down. They're not going to shut down the running game of the Indianapolis Colts. However,
No.
they're going to do a good enough job. They're going to do. He's not. Jonathan Taylor's not going to have another 3 touchdown game. They're going to do a good enough job to where they can slow him down just a little bit and put pressure on Daniel Jones. And I think they squeak away with the win. So I'm going with Kansas City in this game.
Okay. So this one of them games where we gonna figure out someone after this game. Indy win this game. Indy's legit. They going into Arrowhead with all the stuff that's on the table for Kansas City and beats Kansas City in Kansas City. Or Kansas City's like, hey, we ain't dead yet. You know, never underestimate the heart of a champion, all that kind of stuff. I just don't know if Kansas City is going to be able to stop Indy's running game. Yeah, you know, Daniel Jones will have to do what Daniel Jones needs to do. But, and then, you know, KC can't run. So it's going to be all on Patrick Mahomes. This a tough one. I mean, even you know, the betting people, KC's -3.5. They at home, so it's pretty much get the 3 points being at home is pretty much they're like a even Steven pretty much. But I'm gonna go with the upset. I'm gonna call it an upset. I think Indianapolis is gonna go into Kansas City. They're gonna beat the Chiefs. They're gonna stake their claim to be a legit AFC champion contender, and KC will be 5-6, I believe, after this game. So there you go.
Yeah, I'm having a hard time considering the Colts are underdog in this game. I don't know why they're an underdog. That kind of that floors me a little bit there. They have a strong running game. The Chiefs have a hard time defending defending against good rushing teams. The Colts have a stout defense. Chiefs can't run the ball. They're one-dimensional. But this is in Kansas City. So to me, the upset would be Kansas City winning this game, not the Colts. And I think Kansas City is going to be a little bit pissed off about losing that game to the Broncos. So I'm going to go with Kansas City to win this one. I still think Jonathan Taylor rushes for 3 touchdowns. It's going to be a high-scoring game.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I like that. I like how this going. All right, we got the Seahawks visiting the Titans. This one is quick and easy for me. I'm going with the Seahawks. Seahawks lost last week. I mean, Titans don't have anything. So this easy. I'm going with the Seahawks, man.
I could try to delay the inevitable, but in the interest of time and respect for everybody out there, I'm going with the Seahawks over the Tennessee Titans.
So we, in the spirit of upsets, right? That is not going to happen in this game. Seahawks.
You're right about that.
That's not going to happen this game.
Yeah. All right.
I'm not even going to belabor this.
What? Let's second.
Ain't no way.
Yeah. All right, Doc. Your Vikings going to Green Bay, man. They go into Lambeau Field. They marching in there. They lost one last week, man. So if you guys are gonna get on track, you got to be Green Bay. If you are going to salvage your season, you have to be Green Bay. This is a must win for you guys because everybody's pulling away in your division, and you got to catch up. So I don't know if things have been resolved. I know Justin Jefferson was kind of pissed. I see him throwing helmets and stuff on the sideline. JJ McCarthy. He got to go through his lumps, and he's going through the lumps right now. I know Green Bay is kind of banged up a little bit. Jordan Love. I don't know. I don't know if Josh Jacobs is playing or he's out. Um, I don't know, but I'm thinking right here that do you guys get back on the snide? Doc, I don't think so, man. It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough for you guys. JJ McCarthy, I don't think is quite there yet to make this happen, and I don't like Jordan Love them. I don't like Green Bay particularly, but I just on this one I'm gonna have to go with Green Bay, unfortunately. Doc, I'm sorry about that, man, but Green Bay, I think Green Bay got this one.
Man, we talking and the green screen goes out and just puts green in the back of me just to rub it in, you know? I see how this goes. That's fine. That's fine. All right. That's okay. Um, look, like this is a tough one, right? Because as you more than eloquently put out there, the rest of the NFC North is running away from the Minnesota Vikings. We have the worst record in the NFC North right now, right at 4-6. Um, Rivalry game. They cast on us. We cast on them. We are hoping that McCarthy starts to play better and helps get that offense clicking a little bit more so that defense can play with a bit more of a lead and put pressure on the quarterback. And that's what's going to happen. So the Minnesota Vikings are going to go into Green Bay, into Lambeau Field. The Green Bay Packers still don't really have a good sense of who they are. They have great games and they have really bad games, and I think they're going to have a really bad game. And the Vikings are going to win in Lambeau.
Man, I want to pick the Vikings on this one. I think Josh Jacobs he's still hurt, right?
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Questionable.
Yeah,
Yes.
he's questionable. Yeah, in Lambeau, I'm having a hard time not picking the Packers in this situation, even with the injury. Jordan Love, if he's playing, not that he's been playing that great. Um, the wide receivers, man, these Packers wide receivers, they have some issues holding on to the ball. Like they can't find the handle on the ball to save their lives. I mean, the amount of drops I've seen from Romeo Dobbs is ridiculous, ridiculous. And this has been happening for a couple of years now. Um, I think this is good for an upset. I'm gonna go with the Vikings. Not because I think the Vikings are playing all that great. I think it's because the Packers are not. The Packers are not playing great. I know McCarthy has been having his issues, but McCarthy is like he has some good throws and some really, really bad throws. Like when he hits. When he misses badly. If the Vikings can minimize the turnovers, which I think um, McConnell is going to script a game plan to play it a little bit more safely offensively, and Brian Flores, that's my ace in the hole. I just love the way he calls the defensive game. I think this one is ripe for the picking for an upset. So I'm going to go with the Vikings.
All right. All right. It's a good one.
Yeah.
All right. We have the New York Jets traveling to Baltimore to play the Ravens. Um, yeah. Um, Tyrod Taylor is the QB, and Justin Fields is out, uh, and they're gonna be in Baltimore. Yeah, this is another easy one. I'm definitely going with Baltimore, and this. I mean, this is a no brainer. Lamar didn't particularly have a great game in his last game. Defense bailed him out, and they won. Derrick
Mhm.
Henry had a couple good runs, but yeah, I don't see the New York Jets winning this game. So I am going with the Baltimore Ravens at home.
Yeah, I'll go first this time. So with the with this game, you said Links Lamar didn't have a good game last week, right? Um, he could sit this one out too. It don't matter. It don't matter. He don't need he could just hand the ball off. He don't need to have a good game. I think the Ravens, regardless, they could go ahead. They could put Cooper Rush in the game.
No man.
Put Cooper Rush in the game. Right? Ravens gonna win. Ravens gonna win. Like the Jets, they don't know what they're doing. I like Tyrod. I think Tyrod is a good quarterback, but he's a backup. He's been
Yeah.
consistently a backup his entire career.
Yeah.
Um, I think Garrett Wilson is still out. They don't have anything going right now, so I'm picking the Ravens.
The Jets doing their best to get the number one pick. They traded their two best defensive players a couple weeks ago. Uh, they're gonna, I guess finally uh, bench your boy, and then bring in the perennial backup who has been a perennial backup for a reason, right? And it now makes you wonder why didn't they start him sooner unless he wasn't doing as well as. So yeah, we're talking Baltimore, and Baltimore's trying to make their run to get into the playoffs. So Baltimore's going to win this contest. I don't think it's going to be close.
Yeah, and to talk about that, Doc, they wanted to put him in sooner, but he got hurt, right? And then when he got hurt, Fields won the game, and then they felt okay. They had to go with Fields again until now it's like okay, yeah,
As if there wasn't enough of a track record to
right.
pull Fields earlier in the year, right? Like, oh, he won a game. Well, we'll let it go, right? Anyway, yeah. Here's
Yeah.
the Jets.
I feel bad for Fields. Anyway.
And and,
Um
and,
go
real
ahead.
quick, this is the same Tyrod Taylor. He has a knack of getting hurt right when he's about to start, right?
Chargers,
Yep, yep, yep.
yep. Bills,
Yep.
So yeah,
Yep. That's
He
Tyrod.
normally he normally ushers in the next prototypical like quarterback for
Yep.
the organization. So this may be a sign of things to come. Whoever comes up behind him.
Yeah.
Justin
Yeah.
Fields can play the next week and play lights out.
Yeah. Yeah, well, we'll see. All right, next game we got the New York Giants. They're going to Detroit to play the Lions. And you know, the Lions, they're gonna jump back on things. The Giants defense is stout now. Don't get me wrong. Giants defense is solid. That's pretty much all they have going for them at this point. Because on offense, they're just not there. I think Jameis Winston is going to be starting again. I think Jackson Dart is still in the concussion protocol, and they hadn't brought him out yet. But Jameis Winston is going to be Jameis Winston. He's going to have a great game until the end, and then it's gonna all come crumbling down. And I think Sonic and Knuckles get back on track with the not as stout a defense, and they get back on track and they rolling. And now Jared Goff can use his play action and feel good about himself, and so they get back on track. So I'm going with the Detroit Lions in this one.
There is, yeah, I'll say it. I just don't see a way that the New York Giants, with the Jameis Winston experience, is going to go, I believe, into Detroit
Into Detroit, yeah.
and beat Detroit when Detroit is upset after losing to the Eagles last week. So they're going, yeah. I don't see it. Jameis can throw for some yards, but Jameis tends to throw to anyone who's open, regardless of what color jersey they got on. And Johnson got a running game. I don't think that defense is good enough to quiet down that Detroit offense. So yeah, Detroit's gonna win this.
Yeah, this has the makings of a get right game for the Lions after after losing to a
Mm.
superior team last week, right? Um, Dan Campbell's pissed. I know he's pissed. You saw him after the game. He's upset. Um, he probably called the punter into his office this week. Bro, we're not going to need you this game. We're not going to need you this game. I'm going fourth down every play. Every play I'm going for it on fourth down. I don't care if we're on our own 5 yard line. We're going for it. And I can see the punter saying, "Hey, but I'm also the holder. We ain't kicking no field goals. We're not kicking no extra points. Right?
Two.
We're going for two." So this is gonna be a Dan Campbell special this game. And they're gonna win. They're gonna win. They just have too much firepower for the Giants. But I don't see them. They're not punting this game.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. All right. Next game we got the Pittsburgh Steelers traveling to Chicago to play the Bears. Aaron Rodgers is pretty much going to be done for the season, from what I'm thinking, with the wrist injury, and he might as well be done for the career, if you ask me. But going into and you got Mason Rudolph that's going to be starting this game. Yeah, ain't nothing happening. The Steelers defense is going to try to do what they can do, but I think the Bears are going to keep rolling, man. The Bears are going to keep rolling, and they're going to be ready. Ben Johnson is going to, they're winning these one-score games, and, I think it may be a one-score game, based on, because they're not going to count on Mason Rudolph to win the game, right? So the defense is going to have to do some things, but at the same time, I with Mason Rudolph, I don't believe in him, and Chicago Bears are just going to keep rolling on this one. I'm going with Chicago.
It it hurts me over the last 5 years to now start talking about the Detroit Lions and Chicago Bears and actually putting respect on both of those teams' names. It's just, um, but kudos to Ben Johnson. He's got this team, as you mentioned, winning close games. Right? They're executing. They're doing what needs to be done to win these close games. Vikings have done it in the past. It tends to not happen year after year. Chiefs did it last year. They ain't doing it this year. Right? Um, this I really think that the Chicago Bears are going to hold it home and beat Pittsburgh with the Aaron Rodgerless Pittsburgh Steelers. They've got a good head coach. They've got a good organization, but Chicago's doing something. This is just so weird to say. Chicago's doing something. Um, they're making plays on script some, and then Caleb Williams is making plays off script as well, and they're doing just enough to win. But that's all you need to do, right? So, hats off to Chicago. Chicago's going to win this game at home.
Yeah. I feel bad for the Bear fans, man. No one player has owned another team like Aaron has owned the Bears his entire career. I mean, completely owned them. Even said so during a game after scoring multiple touchdowns. I own you, right? So this was supposed to be the get back game for the fans, right? You have a good team now. Aaron is on the down. He's on the down sled. Pittsburgh, they're definitely beatable. Your team is better, and Aaron was supposed to come in, and you were supposed to put it to him. And then I know a couple of Bear fans, and they were looking forward to this game. Not at the beginning of the season, but as they saw the Bears started to, put together, a good team, and start playing with some sense, they were like, okay, we're ready for Aaron, and now all of a sudden Aaron can't play. I don't see Mason Rudolph coming into Chicago and pulling out a victory against this Bears team. So I'm gonna go with the Bears. If Aaron was playing, I was gonna go with Aaron because I mean he owns them, right? They'd have to prove it to me that they could beat him. But since Aaron isn't playing, I'm gonna pick the Bears to win this one.
Gotcha. I don't know if Aaron ever need to play again, but anyway.
What Aaron do
Um,
to you? What do he do to you, Lynx? What Aaron do to you?
you see how
You
Aaron just, I keep going back to this. When they tried their little tush push, Aaron Rodgers stands up, man. Just this image is in my
I love
head.
it.
This image is in my head, and I can't get it out.
The superhero pose at
The
the point.
superhero pose, man. That's ridiculous, man. Anyway, yeah. All right. You got the Patriots traveling to Cincinnati to play the Bengals. This is another easy one for me. It's I'm not gonna belabor this one. Definitely New England is gonna keep rolling. They're doing their thing. I think they got the best record overall in the NFL at 9-2. They're gonna be 10-2. The Bengals can't stop anyone. Jamar Chase spitting on people, not gonna be there. Suspended. So yeah, ain't nothing happening right here. New England Patriots gonna win this game.
Chase said he didn't spit on nobody, so I don't know why they suspended him because he
And
said,
he appealing it. And he appealing it.
"Hey, you gotta keep going with it.
You're
Got to keep going with it, right? You done started, so
Deny.
No matter the evidence.
I didn't open up my
Oh,
mouth to
man.
that guy.
this
Yeah.
I ain't say nothing to him. Ain't open my mouth.
Oh man.
I am trying to think of some possible way that the Joe Burrow-less, Jamar Chase-less, Trey Hendrickson-less Cincinnati Bengals would beat the New England Patriots. And I honestly can't. Yeah, it's gonna be New England. I think even if they sharpen their B game, which they won't because it's variable, um, they're gonna win this game. So it's gonna be New England winning in Cincy.
Yeah, New England's too buttoned up. They're too fundamentally sound. They're gonna go ahead. They're gonna win this game. Like you said, the spitters are gonna be there. Joe Flacco, I think he's gonna run the course. Um, defense is the defense. Trey Hendrickson, no nothing on that defensive side. So yeah, New England's gonna go in and handle business.
Yeah. Yeah, that one was easy. All right, we got the Cleveland Browns are traveling to Las Vegas to play the Raiders. We just talked. We were just talking about this before we came on air. The Raiders just they don't. I don't know. You got the doc. You just enlightened me to Pete Carroll and his sons. And there's no way. There's absolutely no way. I mean, I heard about nepotism, but this right here is ridiculous. This take a whole nother level. No wonder I was trying to figure out when I was watching that game what was going on with Las Vegas because I hadn't watched them the whole year, and I was like, what's going on with these guys? Doc, you told me. All right. So yeah, I think Shador Sanders is going to start this game. I don't think Dylan Gabriel is going to be out of concussion protocol yet. So Shador is going to get is working this whole week. Which I'm excited to see him work this whole week and see what he got. Myles Garrett has his back. I think Myles Garrett's going to have another 3-4 sack game. The defense is going to play well and Shador is going to move the ball. I'm not saying he's going to be lights out or anything like that, but I think he's going to be efficient. He may make some bonehead rookie errors, but I think Cleveland is going to win this game. Shador Sanders is going to get Cleveland in the win column in this game against the Raiders.
Let me touch up on the whole nepotism thing first off, right? So, but especially in the NFL, like head coaches look out for the family of other coaches. So you Schottenheimers, Shula, Carroll, trying to think who else. Fossil. There's a whole bunch of coaches where like the daddy.
Shanahan's.
There we go. Daddy,
hmm
the granddaddy, the granduncles, coaches, the kids, the nephews, coaches, the grandsons are coaches, right?
hmm
Hey, there's an inside. When I say inside, you grew up you heard about it, you sat at the table talking about it, you will learn about stuff before a lot of other people. You get the entryway, that's cool. But there's a situation where, hey, this is head coach, first year with the team. The team's not running the ball well, and the offensive line coach happens to be his son. There's a conflict of interest slash people kind of wonder, is the guy qualified for the job? Now, he's coached offensive line at other places before, so this is not new to him. But when the team's not doing well, folks kind of start wondering, and that's the part where the nepotism starts to like become a bit more of a negative versus them getting immersed early into the thing. This game, for all the folks that love Shador Sanders, Cleveland needs to win this game. I understand he's been sitting on the bench. I understand he's not been getting first team reps. I understand there's a conspiracy theory with the head coach that don't want Shador to do nothing for whatever reason. He just don't like Sanders or whatever it is. You're playing the Las Vegas Raiders. If you can't beat the Raiders, I don't want to hear about how he's God's gift to football, but they just ain't using him right or they ain't giving an opportunity. Like this is the opportunity. You know, the football gods are very strange. So I'm going to go with the Las Vegas Raiders. I think the Las Vegas Raiders are going to win out. It's going to be a close 16-13, 14-13 kind of game. But the Las Vegas Raiders are going to beat the Cleveland Browns. And then who knows what's going to happen with the world once that happens. But yeah, I'm going with the Las Vegas Raiders.
You all know how I feel about Shador. But right is right. Right is right. You picked this guy, and albeit in the 5th round, but you did make an extra move to get him. You made some sort of a concerted effort to put him on your team. But all signs and the attitudes that have been exhibited since that point has shown that you don't want him on the team, or you don't want him to succeed on the team. And I don't care how talented you are, because I even said this about Caleb Williams. You have to be in the right spot. You have to be with the right coach. You could have all the talent in the world, but if you have those things working against you, you're not going to succeed. I'm going to pick the Raiders, but it has nothing to do with any indictment on Shador. It has to do with the indictment on the Cleveland Browns organization. They have not set him up for success at all. At all. They have not done anything, I feel, to contribute to him being the best version of himself, the best version that he can possibly be. To be a backup for X amount of weeks and not to have not one, to have 0 reps with the first team, that's inexcusable. That doesn't make any sense. It seems to me as if you just don't want him to get familiar with the first team in case a situation were to come up and he would need to be put in the game and play with that team, right? We all know that when you're a backup, you're one hit away from being in the game, especially if you're a quarterback. And knowing that, not that he needed a lot of reps, but he needed some, just a couple, none, 0. So to me, he's not just playing against the Raiders. Unfortunately, he's playing against this Cleveland Brown coaching staff as well. And when you put someone in that situation, I just can't, I don't see a pathway to winning for anyone in that situation. So I'm going to pick the Raiders.
Yeah, real quick. I don't know if you guys saw this, but they showed a little clip with Andrew Berry speaking with Shador on the sideline of that last game. And Andrew Berry. Now I don't know if if this was for the cameras. It could have been, mics on it, et cetera, et cetera. And he was like, "Man, I think for you being out there, I think you did well." Shador was like, "No, I didn't, I don't think so." And he was like, "Look, take it for what it is. You were in there. You moved the ball a little bit. You did, what you were supposed to do, and I think you did well." So they had that little exchange. I don't know if that was it seemed to me like it was genuine from Andrew Berry. That's just how it seemed to me. So I don't know if it's a Kevin Stefanski thing with Shador, most likely, but I thought it was both of them. But after hearing that exchange, it seemed like it was kind of a genuine kind of exchange, like I'm in your corner kind of deal. I don't know, but I saw that
That,
clip and found it
Links,
kind of
that
interesting.
that could be the case because and you've had situations. I mean, from the beginning of time when it comes to the NFL where you have a differencing of opinion between the general manager and the head coach. General manager picks, guy A. Head coach don't want guy A. He wanted guy B. And so there's this tussle. There's this, this conflict of interest, and the stronger personality, normally kind of bears out and gets their way for good or for better or for worse. And Stefanski,
Oh,
what, two-time coach of the year? Twice, right?
Yeah.
So in that situation, it's like, hey, give me my guy. I want my guy. I don't want your guy. I can win with my guy. And come hell or high water, I'm gonna make this work. It ain't working. Your guy isn't good, right? He shouldn't be starting. And Shador, not to say that he's a great quarterback, he's better than that guy, I believe. And he should have had a lot more chances to prove himself than what was given. So, and Barry may actually be in his court because I think it was said that Barry was the one that put his hat. He was like, "Go get him." He made the move to go get him and put him on the team. Now it's up to Stefanski. Like Barry isn't coaching, so he has to now give it up to Stefanski and let Stefanski nurture this guy and guide this guy to being the best football player on the Cleveland Browns that he can possibly be. Stefanski is not
Yeah.
doing that.
Yeah.
Lee, you said something, and things now start finally making some sense. So we've had conversations off camera about the totem pole and things being in alignment: owner, GM, head coach, quarterback. And when they're all in alignment, teams do well, and when they're not, teams don't. Now the owner came out and said he didn't want Shador, so we know how the owner felt about it, right? Andrew Berry being a GM's like, look, this is a late round, second round pick now in the fifth round. Like this is just a steal. Like how could we
Right.
not, right?
It makes sense.
And Stefanski's like, but that's not the dude I want. I already got the guy I want. So now you got the dysfunction, right? Hey, this gets to Moneyball now, right? Movie Moneyball. Hey, I got this guy. You should play this guy. I don't want to play this guy. I got my guy. GM and head coach going at it. So be going with Flacco. We trade away Kenny Pickett. Okay. Okay. Cool. 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 Well. Dylan Gabriel going to be the backup quarterback, and Shador going to be the third.
Mhm.
Okay. Well, Flacco's not doing it. What we gonna do? We gonna bump Dylan Gabriel up. We gonna keep Shador at third, and have Joe Flacco at the second. Oh. Okay. Guess what? You can't do that because Joe Flacco got traded to the Bengals. Flacco ain't here no more. So you ain't got no choice but to bump Shador up. Oh, who could we get? What other because you don't have a third quarterback. I may make that guy the backup quarterback and keep Shador at the third. Oh, dog, you can't be doing that. Okay, cool. Okay, well, Shador will be the backup, but he ain't getting no first team reps.
Right.
I'm going to make sure my guy gets as many reps as possible because he's the dude that should be playing, and this other guy shouldn't even be on the team. I don't want him on the team. You pick him on the team. I wanted beef, and you got chicken. We ain't doing chicken. You could have the chicken in the fridge. I ain't cooking the chicken. I'm cooking the beef, right? And so much now of what's been going on with Shador and the quarterback situation with the Browns makes sense because the GM is trying to force feed players to the head coach, and the head coach is playing who he won't play. Welcome to dysfunction. There it is for you.
Yeah, those are some good metaphors because it makes sense now because now like nobody understood why you would trade Flacco. But when you have a stubborn head coach that doesn't want to, he doesn't see the writing on the wall. You have a guy, he doesn't fit. I mean, even talking with Flacco, he doesn't fit the scheme.
Right.
Okay. So you want to put your guy in and then put Flacco second. And the GM is like, no, you you got to put in my guy. You got to move him up.
Yep.
Okay, then I'm taking this guy out of the equation
Out of the
to
equation.
force you to have to use my guy, and then you got head coach saying, "I'm still not going to use that guy. He's not going to get any reps." So it makes sense. That actually makes a lot of sense. And organizations can't succeed this way, man. You can't succeed this way. It's impossible. So someone or someones are not going to be there next season.
Next year.
Yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Definitely agree with that. Yeah. All right. So in this next game, boy, I mean, anyway, Jacksonville Jaguars visit the Arizona Cardinals. Yeah. This is one of those games. Jacksonville coming out, blowing out people, and then they in that helter skelter category, and but the Arizona Cardinals just don't look good. Um, yeah, I'm going with Jacksonville in this game. I mean, as much as I could care less about either of these teams, um, I think Jacksonville may be on the helter instead of the skelter this week. So I'm going with Jacksonville, man.
I am gonna cut to the chase. I believe in Jacoby Brissett. That man went 47 for 57 for 457 yards against the Niners defense. And now they're going to be at home hosting against the Jacksonville Jaguars. And you don't know which Jacksonville Jaguars team going to show up. All right. I think Arizona's going to win this game. I honestly think Jacoby Brissett's going to have a really good game. I don't think he'll throw for 457, but he's going to have a really good game. And I think Arizona's going to, I'm going to call it steal one because I think it would be an upset, but I think Arizona's going to win this game against Jacksonville.
Boy, it's a toss up, right? I was really looking at Jacksonville like as a no-brainer until Doc made that point. Brissett did have a pretty good game against a really, really stout, even though they're depleted, but I would still, grade the 49ers defense head and shoulders above the Jaguars right now. I'm going to go with the Jaguars. Only because I think you know what? They just had a good game. They don't riddle off two good games in a row. They don't do that. I'm picking the Cardinals. I'm going with the Cardinals. I think the Jaguars are going to actually be on the skelter side of this, Lynx. So you're going to have two skelter teams playing against each other.
Yeah.
And I think Jaguars are going to be more skelter than the Cardinals.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right, man. I've been waiting to get here. My Eagles traveling to Dallas.
I'm surprised you don't leave this for last.
And they are gonna play. No. I want to get this over with. Because I've been getting a lot of flack, on social media, from these Dallas Cowboy fans who, when I picked God forbid, I picked the Raiders last week, to beat the Cowboys last in Monday Night Football, but the Cowboys pulled it out against a 2-win team. So whoop-de-doo. Oh man, yeah, we going to the Super Bowl now. Man, we're gonna win the division. We're gonna do it all. We got it. We got everything we need. We can make this run. Yeah, that's not gonna happen. Come on, the Dallas Cowboys. Every game that they have won have been to teams with losing records. Right? They've won all of those games. When they play against teams that have winning records, they do not win. Of course, this is a division game. I'm not saying this is going to be a blowout by any stretch of the imagination. Dallas has a very good offense. I'm not being delusional in this one. It's just common sense. It's common sense, right? Come on, guys. Dallas Cowboy fans, let me look at the camera. Dallas Cowboy fans, you guys need to stop being delusional. Okay, it's gone too far. It's too far at this point. You are not going to win this game. You are not going to win any of the next 3 games that you play. Okay, you are going to be out of the playoffs after this game. Dallas, forget it. It's over. Finito. You're done. Fly, Eagles, fly.
You don't think the Vikings could beat the Cowboys in 4 games in 4 weeks? Why you stop at
Let me
why
add
you
that
stop at
extra
three,
one on.
man?
He stopped at 3.
Let me. I'm gonna add
You
that
stop.
one.
You did
I'm
stop
gonna
at
add
3,
that one
Doc.
on, Doc.
You stopped
Yeah,
right
yeah,
there
yeah.
at 3.
Let me add that one on too. 4 weeks. You're done.
Shameless plug for the Minnesota Vikings. Um, so look, like, hey, Dallas had a really good win Monday night, right? They got some new pieces. They were using those chess pieces really well. I think they're going to come out with more of that 5-man front to try to help stop that running game, try to put the Eagles in obvious passing downs. I do think the matchup of the Dallas Cowboys wide receivers and tight end against the secondary for the Eagles is going to be really nice to watch. That's going to be a really nice matchup, kind of strength on strength, if you will. Dallas is playing at home. Dallas fans are actually, coming out. I think you're going to see a whole bunch of Dallas fans actually show up and not sell the tickets to Eagles fans coming into town.
Why?
But yeah,
I need to know why.
yeah, yeah. So I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with the Eagles. I think it's gonna be a really good game. I think it's gonna be like one of those 28-24, 31-27. The Cowboys offense will score enough points, but the will outscore them. And so yeah, so I'm going with the Eagles.
Yeah, Lynx picking the Raiders against the Cowboys. That was wild. That was crazy, man. You come on, come on. I would be upset too if I was a Cowboys fan.
Yeah,
I'd be
I had to
upset
do
too.
it.
Yeah, but I a couple of things here, guys. Like you have the Cowboys. They and in all seriousness, right? They
Mhm.
going through a very dramatic situation over the past week and a half, 2 weeks, and it's they pulled together and emotionally, I think that like really carried them through that game, and it could be a stabilizer for them throughout the course of the season as well. Don't know, we'll see, but they looked extremely focused against a lowly Raiders team, but they didn't show all of the hijinks that they would typically show in weeks past. Um, but after watching the Eagles last week, man, against the Lions and that defense, I think the Eagles they have the best defense in the league. And I'm not just saying that. I think the world of the Rams defense as well, but that Eagles defense is scary. And with the addition of Jalen Phillips, which again is ridiculous that how he was able to pull that off. Miami let him go because they can't use him. They can't use no one. Um, I don't see anyone being able to just move up and down the field against that team. And Lynx called it with Hurts. Hurts is, he just needs one throw. He don't need to be consistent. He don't need to light it up. He just needs one good throw a game. And I think they're going to be in that position again. I think they're going to handle business, and I'm going to pick the Eagles to win this game.
No. All right. All right. In this next game, Lee, you're gonna. All right. We got the Atlanta Falcons traveling to New Orleans to play
Divisional
the
game.
Saints. This is a divisional
Mm,
game. Yes, this is a
divisional game.
divisional
Yep.
game. And we know, as we know, Penix is out for the season. Um, I think he is at this point. Kirk Cousins is going to be in there, and he's going to be playing. I think for New Orleans, it's still what's his name? QB in New Orleans, rookie.
Tyler Shough.
Um, yes, Shook is going to be under center for New Orleans. I'm just going to continue my trend. I don't care what's going on in Atlanta. I'm never picking the Atlanta Falcons ever because they're going to do what they do. So until the Atlanta Falcons can prove me wrong, I'm never going to pick them. So I'm going with the New Orleans Saints, man.
The New Orleans Saints continue to snatch, I'm going to call it defeat from the jaws of victory. Victory being the number one seed, number one pick. Divisional game, you play in Atlanta. Atlanta is the superior team on paper. They got the veteran quarterback coming back into play. You got a rookie quarterback. Just don't try. Just get beat. You now 2-9. You on your way for that number one pick. But no, that's not what's going to happen. Kellen Moore going to coach this team up. Tyler Shugg going to have another good game. And surprised as we all are going to be, the New Orleans Saints are going to be 3-8, and they're going to beat the Atlanta Falcons. Because that's just the way football goes. So, yeah, I'm picking New Orleans.
Y'all sleeping on Kurt Two Chains, man. Kurt Two Chains in the game now, right? Kurt Two Chains, right? Hey, Penix is out. Unfortunately, he's out. He's done for the season. Hate that for the young quarterback. And he's had a history of this stuff too, with these injuries, and I really hate it. I was hoping that he was kind of over this, but he's had a tough go at it in his college years with knee injuries and shoulder injuries. But like I said, Kurt's coming in, 2 Chains, and he's gonna right the ship. He's gonna right the ship links, and Falcons gonna pull this one out. It's the Saints. It's the Saints.
Yeah.
Right? This is a no-brainer.
Yeah.
It's a no-brainer. Falcons.
All right, man.
Okay.
Keep it going. Keep it going.
All right.
All right. Okay, Sunday night game. We got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers going out to LA to play your Rams, Lee. This is going to be a good Sunday night game. I think this is another one. I think these last couple of Sunday night games have been really good, and I think this is going to continue that trend on Sunday night. Baker Mayfield is gonna be doing his thing. You know, he was toe to toe last week, and you know they came up short, and so. You know, now this is going to be a really, really good game. I'm interested to see how this is going to go. I think this is going to be a duel. You know, even with Tampa Bay not having all their weapons, I still think this is going to be a duel. I think Baker Mayfield, his resilience is going to really shine. He's going to shine, and he's gonna stay in this game. And you know, the Rams, you got your defense, you got your receivers, you got your MVP playing quarterback Matthew Stafford at this point, and you guys are at home. This is not going to be easy for the Rams. This is going to be a close one. I could see this coming down to the wire. Even with the Rams defense, I think Baker Mayfield, he's resilient, man. He just keeps things close, just close enough, and to the end. And so, but I think the Rams still win this game. It's going to be close. This one is going to be a good one. I think it's going to be some highlights in this game for Sunday night, and it's going to keep people excited. It's going to really get the juices running. You know, offenses is going to be good. Defense is going to be good. It's going to be a great game. So, you know, but I'm going with the Rams in this game, squeaking it out. But I think the Rams are going to take this one.
I gotta give the LA Rams some credit. Looking at their schedule, I mean they've had a couple of pansies on there too, and they beat the pansies, right? But they've pretty much had a murderer's row, right? They Texans, we can go plus or minus on them. They beat the Eagles. Sorry, they lost to the Eagles, They beat the Colts. They lost to the Niners. They beat the Ravens. They beat the Niners second time around. They beat the Seahawks last week. They're playing the Buccaneers. Later on in the season, they're going to play the Lions. They're going to play the Seahawks again as well, right? Like they played some really good teams, and they're 8-2. So they're going to be 9-2. I really like Tampa Bay. I love Emeka Etefu. Sorry, Ibuka. I really like Baker Mayfield. I like what Tampa Bay's doing. I know they've got some injuries. Every team's got injuries at this point. It's just where and how many. And Tampa's doing really well. They did their best against Buffalo. And it's going to be weird. Tampa on a 2-game losing streak. But yeah, Rams are going to come through. Rams are playing really good ball, playing great on offense, playing great on defense. I just, as much as I like Tampa Bay, I don't see Tampa Bay going into the LA and beating the Rams there. So
yeah, Tampa Bay, they're on the 2-game skid, and they played well in those games, but they played against some really good teams, Patriots and the Bills. And we saw what Josh Allen had to do to pull that game out, right? 6 touchdowns, 3 on the ground, 3 in the air. I think I believe in the Rams defense. I think the Rams defense can contain the Bucks. That the young running back Sean Tucker, he looks pretty good though. Like he surprised me that last game. But that being said, I expect the Rams to stand the ground, hold home court, home field, pull this one out. I do think Lynx is going to be close. But we click in. I think offensively, Stafford, I think, is playing the best ball of his career, which is crazy, right? At this stage at this age, Puka's, he's elite. Devontae Adams, he's been having some uncharacteristic drops, which has been a little bit concerning. But he and Stafford, they seem to be on the same page. Kyron is holding on to the ball. I'll leave it at that. But yeah, I expect us to win to pull this one out, to win this game. But it's going to be a pretty close matchup. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, that's going to be a good one. They actually should have switched these games. This is Monday night game. They should have put you guys on Monday night, but Sunday night at prime time is still. But on this Monday night game, you got the Carolina Panthers, who are they're playing well. Win 6 games, and they're traveling to the 49ers to play the 49ers. However, with all that being said, the 49ers have Brock Purdy back. George Kittle is doing his thing. I don't know if is Ayuk going to be back for this game.
I don't think so.
No, so even still, it doesn't matter. I think Bryce Young has been playing some really good ball. Their running game, I don't know, kind of, middle of the road. And so, with that being said, I think the Carolina Panthers are going to hang in there. They're going to hang in there a little bit with the 49ers, but again. The 49ers are just going to, with Brock Purdy coming back, he looked really good last week. And I think he's going to continue and showing people why, this is his team and not trying to create some QB controversy. And so he's going to come back with something else to prove. And they are going to beat the Carolina Panthers. Carolina, like I said, they're going to hang in there for a little bit. But I think at the end, at late third quarter, fourth quarter, the 49ers are going to start pulling away. And, the coach that you want out of there, Lee, for the 49ers.
Robert Saleh.
Robert Saleh, yeah.
Top candidate for a head coaching job next season.
Top candidate.
Top candidate. Yeah.
He is going to continue to work his magic on defense. And they're going to shut Carolina down in that fourth quarter, and I think they pull away and win this game. So yeah, I'm going with the 49ers.
So When I first thought about this game, I was like, oh, this clearly should be an easy, right? Because it's the Niners against Carolina. But Carolina has been deceptively competitive this year.
Yeah.
Um, you know, Bryce, I mean, it was no offense to a lot of fans, it was against the Falcons, threw for 400 and something yards, right? And they have a running back who can go for almost 200 yards rushing. So depending on what the situation is, they can pass it or they can run it. I think the defense is respectable to somewhat underrated. Um, and I think there's actually going to be an upset. I think that the Carolina Panthers are going to go into Levi Stadium. It's going to be a close game. I think it's going to be Carolina having to score on the last possession to take the lead. But yeah, uh, sounds really weird. I believe in Bryce Young. Like he's actually starting to play good football with a solid team around him, starting to gel. So yeah, I'm going to go with the upset. I think Carolina's going to beat San Francisco.
And from your mouth to God ears, man. Uh, I hope that happens. But to take the emotion out of it on my side, I can't help, but I got to go with the 49ers to win this game. Looking at it statistically, 49ers are more efficient. They're third overall in third down efficiencies. They're second in passing yards a game, even with all of these injuries. They're second in passing yards offensively. Um, the Carolina Panthers, they are, when you match them up, they're abysmal, right? On the stat lines. They've had some gutty wins, right, against some teams that are just not, they're not well coached. So that being said, Kittles is back. He looks healthy. Purdy's back. He looks healthy. McCaffrey's been steady all season. That's all they need, and it's in San Francisco. So I think the 49ers. This is a game that they don't typically lose against these type of teams. Stranger things have happened, and I hope they do happen. But that aside, I think the 49ers are going to pull this one out.
Yeah, 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 man. This is a great slate of games. Again, it's starting to really become crunch time. Next few weeks here, 2 3 weeks, 2 3 4 weeks, especially the 4 weeks for Dallas. But 2 3 4 weeks over the next couple of weeks, man, it's going to be, yeah,
Thank
it's
you.
going to
Thank
be
you.
interesting.
Thank you.
Yeah,
4 weeks. Yes. Thank you.
yeah, man.
Who?
4 weeks, yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
Let me wait.
We're
Wait.
gonna shake things up,
Who
huh?
was who was that slate of games they playing in 4 weeks?
Who, Dallas?
Dallas. They got who they
So they
got?
got the Eagles, right? And then they
Kansas
got
City
Kansas
Kansas
City.
City. Yep.
Yeah.
in Detroit.
And then they got Detroit,
Oof.
and then they
And
got
then
the
they got the
Vikings.
Vikings.
Come on, man. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on. Come on. They done. They
gotta
done.
wrap my squad, man. Gotta wrap my squad. Couldn't
Yeah,
let that
yeah,
couldn't
yeah.
let it go
Yeah,
by like
Doc. I
that.
gotta throw y'all in there, man. Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
yeah,
Y'all
yeah,
got
yeah,
that.
yeah.
That
I could let him say talk about three teams and stop at
yeah, yeah,
three.
yeah.
Just
Yeah,
just couldn't do it.
much respect,
So
man. Much respect.
so
Much respect.
much appreciated.
Yeah. Lee, I see you looking at that hard, man.
No, no, I'm looking at because the last three, I don't want to say the last four, but the last three
Yep.
Chargers, Commanders, and Giants, they are winnable
Those are
games.
winnable. Yeah,
Those
definitely.
are
Yeah,
winnable games,
Yep.
very much
yeah.
so.
But at this point, they are, with their record being 3-5-1,
Hmm.
uh,
No,
or
four.
yeah, they're
They're
three
four
five and one.
wins.
Or they're four,
Four,
five
four,
and one.
5-1. Yeah.
Okay, 4-5-1. You lose the next three games, you're done. But I'm hearing from Dallas fans that they're gonna win two out of the three next games. That's what they're saying.
No,
That's
no,
that's what Dallas
no,
They
fans are saying.
they
You
no.
know,
kind of have to though. They
They
kind
s-
of have
they,
to.
they yeah, and they really do have to if they want to have with those last three games that they could win. If
They
mhm.
if the delusion is real, they would have to
Can-
win the next 2 games to stay.
Can 10 wins get you into the playoffs? I mean, it
It's
can,
gonna be
right?
tight.
But
In
it'll
the
be tight,
NFC,
right?
it's going to be tight in the NFC. Yeah. NFC is
They're not
going to be
getting
tight.
So,
I don't see them getting there.
No, because of the tiebreaker, it might work out their way. But that means they got to go 6-1 out the next 7.
Yeah, I don't see that happening.
Tiebreaker with who, Doc? Who they beat?
Hey.
They
Did
tied the Packers
Mm-hmm. Tied the Packers.
Oh, because of the tie. Because they tied.
because of the
that-
tie.
okay,
Because of the
got it.
tie, that lack of a loss
Mhm.
could work out if they get the same number of
That's true.
wins, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
But to get to that 6-1, they have to go 6-1 over the next 7.
Yeah, no.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, that ain't happening.
That's tough.
That ain't
That's
happening.
I mean, I look, and realistically, I know, look, I don't like the guys, and everybody knows this. And even if they do beat the Eagles, say they do beat the Eagles, I know for sure everybody going to put them in the Super Bowl at that point. And I do expect the Eagles to lose another game. I do. You know, I'm not saying we running the tables. We are going to lose a game, and this is a division game. So, hey, anything is possible. I doubt it's going to happen, but anything is possible. But if even still, like we just said, for them to go 6-1 over the next 7 games, that's impossible for Dallas. That's just not going to happen.
I just don't. Yeah, I just don't think 9. I don't think 9-7-1 is going to get you in.
No.
So they got to go
no.
10-6-1.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. So, anyway,
All right.
yep. Hey, stranger things has happened, but it ain't
That's
going
true.
to happen in Dallas.
Not this time. Not this time.
Not this time.
No,
not
not
this
this
time. Yeah. All right, fellas.
All
We'll
right.
catch up on the next one, man.
All right, sounds good.
Yep.
Later.
All right, later.